Start.
I'm sorry.
Okay, so just for the sake of the recording, in just 1 second, Rabbi Avi Baumol will return to his chair, and he's serving in Krakow and has been to Ukraine and is helping refugees in general, and I'm sure Jewish refugees who are streaming across the border. Rabbi Baumol, the floor is yours.
I missed a lot of people. I also missed my dog. I just want everyone to say hi to Sushi. Hi, Sushi. Sushi. Okay. Anyway, I've become a dog person. Very excited about that. Okay, guys, I have a crazy story to tell you. Rabbi Andy, there were like 10 communities have asked me to speak, and when they heard what was going on. Yes, Poland is very close. Krakow is very close to the Ukrainian border. And let me start. I'm not going to tell you about what I've been doing in Krakow for 5 years. In a word, rebuilding Jewish life. There's a revival. Jews are finding out that they're Jewish. I'm helping them find out and bringing them back to being Jewish again. It's a beautiful thing. Arnold knows a lot about it. He came, and Gordon came. You spent dinner at the JCC. There's life going on there. And unfortunately, during COVID, it all kind of came to a halt, and now we're just getting out of it, and then the war breaks. We are 3 hours from the Ukrainian border, and the Ukrainian border is 5 or 6 hours from where the war is right now. So it's not like the border is in flames, but unfortunately, I'm scared to say it, but it's quite possible that it will be, and that's what they're preparing for, certainly in Lvov. I wrote an article that really explains it very powerfully, the story of just two people trying to get out of Kiev. It's in the Times of Israel. I don't know if Rabbi Andrew, you saw it, or you could post it.
I'll try and post it right now.
Google Rabbi Baumol, Times of Israel. Actually, if you just Google Times of Israel, it's a featured post. So everyone's looking at it. It's called Escape from Ukraine, and it's about what's been happening in the JCC, or in my world, for the past week since February 24th. Really, we understood. Now, over the past year, Ukrainians have been coming across the border and moving to Krakow. Some in small numbers. There was a war. It was down in the Crimea. It was somewhat quiet, and therefore the numbers were going on 30, 40,000 maybe a year from all of Ukraine to all of Poland, and some to the Jewish community. But obviously, when this happened, everything changed. We were just getting out of COVID, and we immediately understood that the time has come to mobilize, to help out the Ukrainian refugees who are going to be coming here, because we heard that Ukrainians are coming in big numbers. In fact, 1 million people have left Ukraine. Now, in the population of 38 million, it's starting. We don't know how far it's going to go, because we don't know how far the war is going to last, or what the madman is going to do. But the solidarity of the Polish people and of European countries rallying for the Ukrainians is something that is just absolutely remarkable. And we in the JCC immediately understood, and the director of the JCC is a man named Jonathan Ornstein, whom some of you met, and he said, our job right now is to become a center for Ukrainians who are in need. When they come to Krakow, there's the big sign, and once again, there's a picture that that I can send you, of a big sign in blue and yellow: welcome Ukrainians, we can help. And we put out a word to the someone.
Take care of it. Don't worry. You're gonna have to unmute yourself.
All right. Are we good?
Yeah, you're good.
We put out we have 700 members, so we immediately put out a call to the members. We need supplies. People are coming, and all the people who are leaving are women and children, because in Ukraine they said anyone who's 18 to 60, man, you're fighting in this war. And that's exactly what's going on. The solidarity amongst the Ukrainians that they're fighting this war surprised Putin, and Zelensky's heroism surprised him, and everyone is rallying behind that. It's a beautiful story unto its own. we realized that these people are in need of help. And we have a building in Krakow. It's in the center. It's very visible. We have this whole system where there's a staff and there's volunteers and everyone was there. So the idea was, what do we need to do to help these refugees who are coming in, who, and I witnessed firsthand, they come with a backpack. At most, they come with a carry-on. Some of them, and I could show you pictures as well. I'll send Rabbi Andy. I'll send you pictures. It'll blow your mind. And they're coming across the border, having left their homes with what the shirt on their back. So immediately, our center, where we have Shabbat dinners, which is this big room, became a storage house for diapers and for feminine products and for food and for clothes and for the different types of supplies. And then we waited. And it's just a few days, people started coming, and we're trying to help sort this out. But as it's changing and as more people are coming, and once again, we made a call that we are here to help Jews and non-Jews. We have Ukrainians on staff, and they can, receive the people who have just gotten off the train, just found their way to Krakow, finally feel safe, but are still in shock. And they are, they're able to talk to them, able to say, where are you sleeping? How can we help you find a place to sleep? We have hotels and we have hostels, and we have, basically, we're overturning every rock to find a place for them to stay. Right now, the numbers are holdable, doable, but if 1,000 come and 10,000 come, we need to kind of coordinate, which we are with other organizations. I give classes in the Jewish Community Center, but I understood that when this is going on, we all need to work together to support these people, and there's going to be major funding that is needed on different levels, and we're working on that. And people started giving money because they understood, listen, I'm sitting in America, I'm sitting in Canada, I'm sitting anywhere. What can I do? And the answer is, well, the first thing we could do is at least get the money in the hands of the people that can physically help people's lives out today. And that's really what's happening, and what people felt right from the start, at that the money is designated and it goes straight to helping the refugees that are in Krakow. There's a lot of
to donate.
Sorry,
I'm just posting the link to donate.
Thank you. There's a lot of, so there are two stories that I'll tell you. One is what we're doing in the JCC, and two is what I did 2 days ago. Okay. What we're doing in the JCC is exactly what I told you. We have this system set up, and we have funds that we're trying to, find lodging, et cetera, et cetera. We're also setting up, working together with 4 other organizations to set up funds that will buy supplies and go help people in need at the border and in Ukraine. And I'll talk about that in a second. And we're also setting up a women's care center. The women that are coming, and I show you a video, once again, something maybe Rabbi Andy, of women, they're breaking down. They're coming, and they're with their children alone, and it's heartbreaking, and they need a job, or they need to learn English, or they need to learn Polish. So the JCC is getting together with another organization and creating a women's home and shelter, and to take care of their children. One example is Ivona. I wonder if I could do it. Let's see. You tell me if this works. Just to get an appreciation for what we're doing. I have, by the way, I'll send Rabbi Andy. I started a WhatsApp group called Helping Ukraine. And it's me personally sending out videos and sending out information. And I'll send it to you, Rabbi Andy, and anyone who wants to, we'll send the link. Sure. Anyone who wants to, it's simply for you to be apprised of what's happening. And we will So I met this woman, and you could see, I wonder if you could see her face, right? You see her?
Yeah.
And she's with her two daughters, and they walk into the center, and the center, the daughter immediately finds a horse. She first smiled. They were on a bus for 32 hours. Okay, everyone who has a story leaving Kiev was traveling for days and days and days. In fact, this woman said to me just today, "Can you get me chalot and wine for kiddush?" I said, "Of course." She said, "Last time I wanted to make kiddush, I was in the car." She sat in a car for hours and hours at the border. So I asked her just what her name is, and this is the video. Your name? Hello. What's your name?
Daniela.
Daniela. Oh, I like that name. Sophia.
Ivana.
Ivana. Where are you coming from?
We're coming from Ukraine.
Where?
We live near Kiev. Now is
You're now and you're safe. And we're going to take care of you, and we're going to get you to a hotel. So we just hope that this ends soon and you'll be reunited with your family. We immediately took the daughter and put her into the kindergarten, and it happened to have been her birthday, so we gave her a kosher birthday cake and started working with the different people to make sure that she has what she needs. That's one example. In the few short days, I have around 10 or 12 examples of just that story. One of them is just this remarkable helper, because we have volunteers. The volunteers are helping out in the JCC. Let me show you a picture of the volunteers, just so you can appreciate. This is what the JCC looks like right now, with a big sign, "Welcome to Ukraine, welcome Ukrainians." And this is a video of the room with the volunteers helping out right now. It's like really ground zero for people walking in all the time and providing food and providing services and getting people what they need. One of the people that is a volunteer, I just asked her story, and she has an amazing story. I want to share that with you as well. I'm standing here with Rita, who is a refugee. She came from Odessa just a few days ago, but she's doing amazing, and she actually is helping out the Jewish community. So maybe a few minutes to hear her story.
Baby, she's 2 years old, and we were sleeping in the car near how to say
Border.
border. Okay, near border for 4 nights, and it was really hard. But we are here now. We are safe. We have help. So thank you for this centrum.
You slept with your baby in the car for 4 nights because you were at the border.
My baby, my family. Yes, we were sleeping in the car, and it was really hard, but it's okay now. We're here now. Thank you for.
And how long did it take you to drive from Odessa to get to the border?
2 days. 2 days.
So it's 6 days from when you left your house in the car with your baby and with your family.
Yes, 6 days.
And then you came to here, and just 2 days later, you're already helping out with Jewish life in the JCC.
I have to do it, I think, because now I'm here. I have everything, so I have help. So I think that I have to help someone too.
Wow, amazing! Thank you very much. Tears out your kishkas, if you ask me. It's a little intrusive of me, but I can't, I needed to take this video of her so that I could share it with you, so that I could show you the heartbreak and the inspiration. And both of them are happening I'm feeling both at the exact same time. And anyone who walks in, they're both completely torn and completely broken, and also at the same time, indestructible. They will continue on and they will try to help others at the same time. That's what's going on in Krakow. And every day is like an emergency room, like the situation room where I just got a call and I just got landed on the plane, and a guy texts me, there's a bus that they're bringing to the border with 200 Jews from Ukraine. They need to get to Warsaw. Can you get us a bus? So it's really like constantly dynamic. Something's going on at the border. How do we help? What do we need to do? And the amazing thing is that we have the JCC has this system set up, and we're focused. We're driven towards doing anything that we can. I want to tell you the craziest thing, and now it's going to get me to this story. Okay, first I'll tell you the story. I teach, you guys know, I've been teaching for a while. I teach Jews and I teach Christians. When the JCC, I give a class, Christians come, they want to hear the rabbi. And then this group of kind of like just said, can you teach us more? They're Christians, but they want to learn Judaism from a rabbi. And for 3 years, we've been studying together. And they gave me for this for my birthday. It's all of them on Zoom. And I meet them once a week. This past Monday, I went to their house. And we learn the Bible, we learn different things. And I teach it in Polish, by the way. That's a whole other story, but believe it or not, I'm teaching classes in Polish. So I teach this group, and the person who's in charge of the group, his name is Irek. It's his house. I'm very close with the whole family. And he has an interesting job. He works for a Christian organization. And for the last 25 years, he's been helping out Jews in Ukraine, poor Jews. The Christians believe it's important to help out the Jews. He's been helping them in Ukraine for 25 years. So he has all these connections. And I come into the house, and his house looks like the JCC. I said, what's going on, Eric? He said, we're going to the border tomorrow. I said, the border? That's a little scary. He said, no. It's just the Ukrainian-Polish border. There are tens of thousands. It's a humanitarian crisis. We have a Polish foundation. We need to go and help them. So I've been asking my friends to bring together, also Aunt Rabbi Andy, I'll send you pictures of this. And we're going in a caravan. I said, can I come? And I quickly called Hadley and said, can I go? And Hadley amazingly said, of course you should go. Of course you should go. Now, once again, this was just going to the border itself, which is hundreds of miles away from where the war is, although the arm of the Russian army, whatever. So Eric says to me, we're going for 3 days and we're sleeping in our cars. I said, thank you very much. But on that much sacrifice. Then he called me later that night and he said, actually, Eric is going. He went to Africa because there are Jews there that he's trying to help out. Another story. But he said, I'm coming home tonight. I said, then I'm coming with you. So we start, I get there at 9, 10 in the morning. We start driving, him and me and 5 other cars of the size of a big transit van. What was in the transit van? Like diapers and blankets and shoes and supplies and chocolates and cakes and a generator. I mean, it was ready. It was set up. They know the business. Okay. We were going to meet his brother, who had been at the border for the last 4 weeks, because the brother understood. The brother is an electrical engineer. He has a company, but he said, no, this is too much. This is too important. I'm putting that on hold. I'm going to the border. Left his wife, with his kid at home. He said, I have to do this. I'm going to save people's lives. So as we're going, Eric is getting calls and they're saying, what can we bring? What do you need? And I said to Eric, listen, we might get a grant of money. What can we bring? What can we, what do they need in Ukraine right now? And here was the most chilling thing that he said to me. He said, we just got a call from the community in Kiev. What they need is a refrigerator truck for the dead bodies. We don't want to leave them and we don't have a chance to pick them up because the bodies are, I was like, wow, this is real. Now, obviously I wasn't able to do that. Everyone's able to do whatever they can, but that's when it became very real to me that we're talking about life and death, and we're talking about the ability to save people's lives. That's what's happening. Now, for me, I didn't think that that was what I was doing because I was going to the border where they're already at the border. And we understood based on the article that Rabbi Andy, you put out and you saw in the videos that sometimes they're 4 days at the border. And by the way, it's 0 degrees Celsius at night. It's minus 10 degrees Celsius at night. People have died at the border, and that's why we decide we're going. We go for 3 hours. We drive east. We get to 5 minutes before the border. We take a little break, and I made a little bracha, like I did a tefillat haderech, which they're all Christian, but they very much respect. And I have a video of me like doing this and saying, listen, we're doing God's work here to save people's lives. Let's go, and God will be with us. I get there, and we get to the border, and the first thing they do is they give us these vests to basically say, this is we're here, and we have these placards saying we're giving humanitarian aid, so people will know, and the people at the border were able to recognize that's what we were doing. We were helping out, and because of that, and because of this guy Romek, who's the brother of Eric and Romek, he had connections at the border. And this is very important because if anyone wants to go to the border on the Polish side to help out, they'll say, wait on the other side. In other words, when you get to Poland, and you can offer food and cookies, and if you can give them a lift, that's great. But Romek said, no, we're going inside. So we end up in between the borders, in no man's land. And he goes to his truck, and he sets out, he takes out a tent, and he takes out generators, and they take out the boxes of food. And what are they doing this for? Because they're going to, they realize, because they know this, that there are hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of refugees who have been standing for days, who are probably very hungry and thirsty, who don't have any strength. And we need to protect them. We need to take care of them. So he sets up the place, and we start giving them food. And you see a box, and look at the line of people that just go endless. Okay, and we start doing that, and here's another picture of just the people that are waiting at the borders, and I have to tell you, their faces are just dreadful. They're not, relieved. You'd think, oh, they're relieved. They finally got there. They're not relieved. They're in shock. They're war torn. They're exhausted. That was my feeling. So they after all these days, they still have to go through passport, and they still have to get on a bus and then find their way home. But at least we were able to provide with them. Here are more people that are coming. People are walking. People are constantly coming. and we're just helping them constantly, provide them with at least the bare, certain foods and things. This is an amazing picture. The guy is one of our volunteers. He's holding, because the mother couldn't hold the child anymore. They're giving out food, and the child is there, and she is like a symbol of me. If you look, she's just like a lost child that has nothing. There's nothing left, and she is walking to, trying to get some food so that she can continue on her journey. The police there were so helpful because he's created this relationship with the people, these volunteers. And by the way, usually they're men, they're women and children. And the police let us go and to the other side, on the Ukrainian side. And I was like, wow, I'm on the Ukrainian side of the border, just to give cookies and chocolate and things like that and take care of them. Now we did that for 2 hours. All right. And other people had been doing it for 10 hours because the border is open from 8 in the morning until 10 p.m. For walking. For driving, 24 hours. Okay. And here's just a little video of me driving of the cars that are waiting at the border. And like she said, it's days and days and days.
Wait, so how did you get back in time for Shabbos?
So now I'll explain, okay? So it keeps on going. And it's frightening. So here's what happens. At some point, Romek says, listen, this is all very good, but I just heard that there's a whole group of people that we can save right now. All we need to do is go to Lvov. Now, Lvov is 100 kilometers into Ukraine. And, I got a call. I told people, I said, all right, let's go, and then someone said to me, wait a second, there's a problem, because the rule is that even non-citizens, men from 20 to 60, and I find myself in that category, you can't leave Ukraine without, you have to go to war. So I said, hey, I want to help, but so Romek says to me, no. He comes over and he shakes the hand of the commander of the Ukrainian Border Patrol. And he said, this guy, you're taking our passports, we're going and we're coming back. He said, absolutely. Now, because the commander had created a relationship with him, and he knew that this guy Romek is the real deal. And if Romek is going to go into Lvov and extract people from there and bring them to safety, then he's going to give them a green pass. He's going to give them a green pass. And that's the reason that I didn't wait on any lines. Now, usually I showed you the picture, and miraculously, we did not have to go on any line. We went in b'derech lo derech. Somehow we made our way out. So we get out and we drive for an hour. And the first hour is it's old and villagey and with churches all over the place. It's like you would expect in Ukraine, and very quiet. Every 20 minutes there's a checkpoint. And the checkpoint is of Ukrainian soldiers creating a buffer, creating like sandbags. They're like, and they have these old guns, like these old rifles. They're making their valiant attempt. They know the war is coming to them. But because we had Romek, who's in charge in front, and he had humanitarian aid, and he had these flashing lights, our caravan went straight through every checkpoint. In fact, we drove on the other side of the street and went to where we needed to go. Where did we need to go? We wanted to drop off all the goods at a central area, but the central area, they were closed, or they had too much and they couldn't do it. So we split up the vans. There were 5 vans. 3 vans unloaded food and supplies at a church, and 2 vans unloaded food and supplies at the Jewish community. So I was able to go physically to the Jewish community, hand them goods and services, and I have pictures of of taking stuff and giving storage. In Lvov, there are only 2,000 Jews, but this guy Irek has a relationship with them, and we were able to take care of them and do as much as we could for the community. And then we unloaded and emptied out the vans completely. And then the story gets interesting. From there, we went to the train station. The train station is magnificent. I want to show you a picture of the train station, just so you appreciate this beautiful. This is the train station. And there are hundreds and hundreds of people milling about. And all those people just got off of the train hours ago or minutes ago from the east. And they are looking for a way to get to the border. And it's not so simple because the buses there are some buses, but not enough buses. And all the people are women and children. And they are kind of lost. And it is a zoo. It's pandemonium. And this guy, Romek, says, we're going to fill our vans with as many women and children as we can. That's the deal I made with the commander, that I unload supplies and I bring back people. And these people, these women and children, are going to be able to go straight through because otherwise they wouldn't make it in time, or have to wait another day, or whatever the case might be. Now, I don't want to get too dramatic because there's no war in Lvov just yet, right? But the people are coming from Kiev, where there's intense war. So we're helping them. We're facilitating. We're expediting their way, which, as you heard, is a big mitzvah to do anyway, because it's just a terrible situation. We go into the train station. It's filled with people, just filled, and they're all kind of don't know where to go and what to do. We walked over to this lady and we said, "Listen, can we give you a lift to the border?" She said, "Please, please, please. I have my daughter and my son, and we need, I said, "What's your story?" When she said, "We live in Kiev. I've been there all my life. I have a beautiful apartment, a beautiful car, a beautiful life. And yesterday," she says to me, "I'm looking out my window. It's on the top floor, and there's a tank, and they start shooting right in front of me. And my daughter saw a missile go and take out a building. And we said, we're leaving. And within an hour, we were on the last 2 seats on the train. And we took a train for 12 hours. And that got us to here to Lvov. And there's no more trains from Lvov. You need to find a way to get from Lvov. And we left behind everything. And we're going to meet my husband in Warsaw. And then we have to start a new life." And I said, "But where's your stuff?" "Well, I have a backpack." I said, "But where's the rest?" She said, we couldn't take it. So the bags that are on their back and whatever they were able to do, and they start a new life. And she was lucky enough to meet her husband. Her husband happened to have been working outside of the country. And I said to her, "Natalia," I said, "Are you, is this goodbye? Are you leaving? Are you ever going to go back to Kiev?" She said, "What are you talking about?" "Of course we are. We're going to win this war. We're going to get rid of that madman, and we're going to come back, and we're going to rebuild, and we're all united together. I have a Telegram and a WhatsApp group, and we were peeling potatoes, and everyone in the community, we were all joining together, and we will defeat this man, and we will come back." And it was so emotional. It was so beautiful. And I think that that's the sentiment of all the people there. Everyone is saying, listen, we can't be in harm's way. Kiev is in rubble, but we're coming back. We put them in our van, and then we put them in our van, and then we start driving. It's already nighttime. It's 8 o'clock at night, and we have to make it to the border because they're going to close it, and there's a curfew. I'm getting a little nervous, but Romek wouldn't listen. Romek, this guy is like, no, we have more place to. There's more people that we can save right now, so we're going to fill up till this every last piece of every last part of the car is filled with people. We go to this place, this dark place, off the side of the road. There's nothing there. It's just some light cars, and all of a sudden lights go on. And Roma gets out of the car, and he goes up to one of the guys, and he gives him a big hug. And he said, and Eric explained to me that Romek had this relationship with this guy, and suddenly 25 more women and children get out of their cars and go into these vans. Now, the vans didn't have seats. He puts down a mattress and they pile them on, and they're all stuffed in like sardines. But remember, it's only an hour drive. So for this last leg, it's worth it. Now, they had no idea what was going to happen because, like you heard in the story, it's very nice that you can get into a car and get to the border, but then you have to wait a day or 2 days in that traffic at the border. And people, some people just turn around. They say, I can't do it. But Romek knew the commander, and we drove on the oncoming side of traffic, our caravan of 5 cars, all the way to the border, all the way to the passport office. And we dropped off 75 women and children, and we managed to get them processed. It blew my mind. These are non-Jews who are volunteers. And when we finished, I was exhausted. It was 10 o'clock and it was going to be a 3-hour drive home. And I asked Romek, what are you doing now? He said, I'm going back to Lvov. I'm going back to get more. I couldn't believe it. He's basically been around the clock going back, bringing these vans of people, getting them to the border. And then we picked up people on the other side of the border because they needed to get to where they needed to go. One family needed to go to Warsaw, and one needed to go to Przemyśl, and one needed to go to Krakow. One even needed to go to Oświęcim. Everyone finds a way to get there. And that kind of, makes the bridge between the two stories that I'm telling you, because the first part of the story was what we do when we receive them. But I didn't know what it meant for them to get to Krakow. And then when I went and spent that day in Lvov and in the border and seeing what's happening, now I understand the severity, the intensity, and it's inspiring but overwhelmingly sad. And I realize there's Eit La'asot La'Hashem. Now is the time to do something. And I can't help but think that, this woman, Natalia, when she was in Kiev, said, we should be okay. And then the bombs started falling and said, okay, we have to protect ourselves. So then, that's what she did. And I'm wondering, is that going to happen in Lvov as well?
So, Rabbi, I'm sure everybody here, I intuit it. We want to know, how can we help? This is obviously an enormous crisis, and I think we're about as far away from the problem as is humanly possible. But I think we very much want to be able to support your efforts. And so maybe just give us a little bit of a window.
So all I can say, right, because the enormity of what's happening and what's going to be unraveling is just beginning to be understood. All we can do is funnel. All people can do is donate to, and not necessarily ours, but find people that are on the ground, that know what's happening, that know someone who is there who can help and facilitate. Go for it. We at the JCC have set it up. If you set the link there, a dedicated site, friendsofjcckrakow.org. /Ukraine. And what we're doing is we're supporting that guy Romek. Do you know what I mean? We are doing counseling for, Shelley asked about counseling. We're doing counseling. We have psychologists and we have people who are Ukrainians who are taking care of them in the JCC. We are basically trying to find everything that we can do for the refugees. Now, remember, there are a lot of refugees in Krakow, but it's not easy to find them. They're not all in the JCC at every minute. So right now we have some money, but it's going to go because more people are going to keep coming, and we're going to try to be distributing it in many different ways as possible. So what can I say? You know, I'm not on a fundraising trip. And Rabbi Andy, you just asked me to tell my story. That's the story. What can you do? You can pray, and you can send support, and you can get on my link so that you can hear more stories and understand, you know, what's happening on the day-to-day.
Oh, fantastic. I thank you. You know, look, I think being in touch with the WhatsApp group is going to be very helpful. And, you know, I'm sure as things go forward, there may be some other ways in which we can be engaged. I'm sure you're extremely exhausted and very glad to be back in Israel with your family. I'm sure they're even gladder that you are you're out of Ukraine. I would I look forward to getting the WhatsApp link, and I'll keep everyone connected. We really appreciate it.
I came home for just 3 days because I need to get back there. I feel like my head is still in Krakow, you know, worrying about people. So I'm kind of like in a bit of a whirlwind, but I'm glad we got a chance to reconnect and to, unfortunately, it's difficult times, but we, the Jewish community, and especially the Shaare Zedek community, is no stranger to standing firm, to standing in solidarity with you know, people all over the world, and certainly with the Jewish communities. I applaud you as in the past, and I hope that we can continue to you know, have these updates, and you know what, I hope I don't have to have any more updates, and I hope I can send you all a message. He finally, you know, went back to the hole that he crawled out of, and I think the Russian people are also hoping that, but barring that, we're going to have to still deal with the craziness that we're experiencing. Yeah.
Amen. Amen.
Rabbi Baumol, as somebody who was a refugee in Poland and survived the Shoah, how can you send me an email, and I will do my best to contact as many of my friends from the survivor community to help.
I will definitely send an email. I will send all the links to Rabbi Andy, and he will disseminate it to everyone. There are 90 people in this call. Everyone's going to hear and have the information. And it's something that, you know, I have a call with New York, and I have a call with the JNF, and I have a call with Nefesh B'Nefesh. Everyone wants to be part of it because we Jews know that we were once in this place. We, you know, and I'll send you more pictures. You can't help but think Holocaust. You can't help but think being refugees.
Could you also send me some of your photos so I can get somebody to help me make a PowerPoint presentation?
Absolutely,
I
will do so. I will do so. I will send it to Meyer. I will send it all to Rabbi Andy. Don't you worry.
Okay, thank you.
I wish you all a good Chodesh.
V'kol hakavod.
Thank you.
Tizkelu yoter mitzvot.
Amen. Amen. It's really nice seeing your faces, and I hope that we hear good things in the near future.
Amen. Thank you so much, Rabbi Baumol.
All right.
Okay. All the best. Thank you, everyone, for joining.
Thank you.